themselves doing 10 years from now in Christal Benson Street Talk. Also, we'll have interviews with staff assistant of SFA's Yearbook and the vice president of the Panhellenic Council. And Harry Clarke will bring us this week's entertainment breakdown. All this and more on Highway 59. This past Monday night, Christmas came to SFA as the 10th annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony took place. Also that night, there were hayrides, caroling, a reception, and a visit from Santa Claus. If you missed this event, don't worry, because the Christmas lights will continue to burn bright through the Christmas holidays. It's a force which guides most people's lives, and it can be scary to think about. This great force is the future. Christal Benson went out on campus this week and asked students what do they see themselves doing 10 years from now. Christal?
Hi, welcome to Street Talk. I'm Christal Benson. The future, it's something that we all think about, but though we don't know what the future holds, we all somehow try to predict what will happen. Today I'll be asking students of SFA, what do they see themselves doing 10 years from now? And each of you sit back and let your minds roam and you think, what will you be doing 10 years from now?
Well, 10 years from now, I hope to be graduated from SFA and have a wife and 5 kids, and I'll be coaching football teams.
And in 10 years, I hope to be coaching, hopefully at a university, maybe even come back to SFA and have a wife and a family to take care of.
Probably being an attorney somewhere in downtown Dallas.
Well, right now I'm working for JCPenney's, and I'm hoping when I graduate that I can go work at the communication department for them.
What do you see yourself doing 10 years from now?
Well, hopefully within 5 I'll be graduating from college and I want to be married and have kids.
10 years from now I expect to be in some cute small little country school district teaching school.
What do you see yourself doing 10 years from now?
In 10 years I plan on being a paralegal, making lots of money, married and having a big house and maybe starting a family.
In 10 years, I expect to be teaching at an elementary school. I'm not sure which one, but I plan to be married and maybe with kids. I don't know.
I see myself as a sportscaster for one of the major networks here doing baseball or basketball.
We would all like to look into the future, but unfortunately, we can't. But if you work hard at it, maybe it can come true for you. That's it for this week's Street Talk. I'm Christal Benson.
When Highway 59 returns, I'll be interviewing Les Waite of the Stephen F. Austin's Yearbook, The Stone Fort. Stay with us. The life and the times of SFA are something to cherish. Many people forget to take pictures of organizations, fellow students, events, and many other memorable events. One place where you might find some of those forgotten pictures is in Stephen F. Austin's Yearbook, The Stone Fort. With us today is Les Waite, which is a staff assistant of The Stone Fort. Thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Okay, exactly, as a staff assistant, what do you do?
Well, basically, I just make sure that all the deadlines are met, that the staff is putting together their pages appropriately, and then check the blue lines as they come in from the publisher and make sure that everything is A-OK.
Okay, what exactly are the blue lines?
The blue lines are the proofs that come back from the publisher, and it shows us the pictures in place, the copy in place, and lets us double check the pages.
Okay, and I know that a lot of work goes into putting a yearbook together, but what exactly does everyone have to do to get this together? What exactly goes into it?
Well, we have a staff of about 9 people, and we have section editors. Each editor is responsible for their own section, and they see that the photographs are taken, the stories are written, and that everything goes in on time. Basically, that's it.
I see. this is like the 70th anniversary of SFA, and over that span of years, how many yearbooks have been printed?
Okay, there have been 69 publications. During the 1930s, we were unable to publish one of the books because of the Depression.
Okay. Okay, what are some of the new things that the yearbook staff is doing?
Well, this year we're using ID photos in the yearbook. We feel that this can incorporate more students in the yearbook and perhaps, for us, increase sales of the yearbook. Most people would tend to buy a yearbook if they were pictured in one.
Okay. And talking about what's inside of a book, what are some of the things that are in a yearbook?
Right. Well, we do student features. We also do teacher features. We have the sports section, and that's basically it.
I see. Okay. When does the yearbook go out every year?
Right. The book will come out the second week in May during Dead Week, and the price on the book is $26.50.
Okay. Yeah, and you said the book is $26.50?
$26.50. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it can be purchased at any time, right up until the time that the book comes out. Most students purchase their books during registration. Then they can pay for it along with their tuition. But you can buy it at any time just going to the Student Publications Office in the basement of the UC.
I know that there are a lot of organizations such as fraternities and a lot of the staff. Dr. Dan Angel, I'm pretty sure, is in the book.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. You have to excuse me there. How exactly is the book funded?
Okay, it's self-funded, strictly from sales. The $26.50 that we collect from each book, usually it pays for the staff, the equipment, everything. So we're totally self-funded.
Okay. And each year, there are themes for the yearbook. What goes into making a theme, and what is this year's theme?
Right. Well, usually we just have a group session, a brainstorming session. The staff gets together and thinks up an idea. This year we chose the 7200 celebration since it was on everyone's mind, you know, with the birthday celebration. And that's the theme that we're going to incorporate throughout the book.
Okay. And there are always different designs in the books. Who decides what design will be on which book?
Basically, that's left up to our editor. Our editor this year is Andrea Thompson, and she's done a great job, and she basically has final say over what designs are put into the book.
Okay. Well, thanks for being with us today on the show.
Well, you're welcome.
And we'll hopefully get a yearbook.
Okay, please do.
Okay, after the break, I'll be interviewing the Panhellenic Vice President, Lerena Espinosa. Stay with us. Governing all sororities on campus can be a tough job, but the Panhellenic Council manages to do just that. With us today is the Panhellenic Council Vice President, Lerena Espinosa. I got that name right.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Okay, exactly what is the Panhellenic Council?
The Panhellenic Council is made up nationally of 26 national sororities, and at every university where there are sororities, there's a Panhellenic Council, and basically we meet. There's a representative from each sorority, and we meet to govern all the sororities on campus. We regulate rush, and we deal with any problems that come along between the sororities.
Okay. What sororities are here locally?
Locally, there's Zeta Tau Alpha, which I'm a member of, Alpha Chi Omega, Chi Omega, Delta Zeta, Gamma Phi Beta, and Tri Delta.
Okay. Well, there's
six.
There's six. Okay, and what exactly does being a vice president mean?
Primarily, my job is to fill in whenever the president can't be there. When we're represented on campus, as when Panhellenic is representative, the president can't be there, I'll fill in. And also, my job is to organize Greek Week, which is in the spring, and also I'm the chairman of the judicial board for Panhellenic.
Okay. Wow, that seems like a handful of duties to do.
Yeah, both of us, the president and I, we both we put in 10 hours a week in the Panhellenic office, and the other delegates, they put in about 2 to 4 hours a week.
Okay. What are the differences between Panhellenic Council and the Interfraternal Council?
The Interfraternity Council is basically like the Panhellenic Council's counterpart, but it's for the guys, for the fraternities. And they're a different group, but we do a lot of things with them since we're both all part of the Greek system, but they govern all the fraternities rather than the sororities.
I see. Is there ever any talk of merging?
No.
No way.
No, they're two completely different entities.
I see. What are some of the projects that Panhellenic Council puts on?
Panhellenic Council, we like to do some community service, at least one project per semester. Just last week, before Thanksgiving break, we had a Panhellenic Sisterhood, a service sisterhood. We all met at Head Start, which is a daycare center for underprivileged children, and we just went and played with them. We took them candy, played on the playground with them and stuff like that. Also, Panhellenic tries to put on at least 1 or 2 programs a semester for the sororities. Recently we had a program on, it was called Living in Self-Defense, and we had a police officer come talk about girls living, defensively, protecting themselves against assault and things like that.
Okay, and do you ever do any joint projects with IFC?
Yeah, we do. Greek Week is along with IFC, and also we've tried to incorporate National PAN, which is the Association for the Black Fraternities and Sororities. They were, the girls, the black sororities joined us in the service with the Head Start just last week.
Oh, that's great. What are some of the conflicts that may go on within Panhellenic? How do you solve them?
Generally, we try, like I said, I'm the chairman of the Judicial Board, but that's usually like the last step. We try to solve any disputes between the sororities before going down to the Judicial Board. Generally, the only problems that ever come up are during rush, because there's a lot of rush rules that we have to be followed that are decided on by the National Panhellenic. And if there's any kind of rush infraction, then generally we try to solve those problems between the sororities before it goes down to anything. But basically, that's about it. There's really not any problems. We try to all, work together, because although we are all different, we're all members of different sororities, we are part of the Greek system. The Panhellenic Council is to join all the sororities as one group rather than 6 different sororities.
Okay, and each semester there's one rush.
Right.
Okay, and what exactly goes into rush? What is the system? A lot of people don't know.
At this school, we're one of the few campuses we have deferred rush, so we have rush in the spring rather than in the fall. And so all the girls who go through rush, they have to have 12 hours of college class before going through rush. And so our big rush is in the spring, so we're getting ready for that. And basically, rush is a series. It's the first week of school. It's 5 rounds of parties, and it's just a different group of days for the girls to see each sorority, and you meet the girls and talk to the girls, and then it's a series of elimination, or at the end of the day, they'll go down to 2 sororities and they decide between which sorority they want. And it's both ways. Like the sororities, it's a series of elimination for them, and as well as for the rushies.
Do you have to pay to enter rush?
There's a $25 rush fee, and that goes into processing all their applications and the name tags and things like that.
Okay, and then I know in the fall they have steps.
Right.
Could you tell us about that?
That's the fraternities. That's like their bid day. And the fraternities, they have rush both in the fall and in the spring. And at the end of their rush, they, when the guys receive their bids for whichever fraternity they're become a member of, there's a tradition at this school where they'll line up, all the girls line up on the steps, and the guys run through the girls, and it's in the Austin building, and they jump into the arms of the brothers of whichever fraternity they pledged.
Okay. And I know you mentioned Greek Week, and when is that?
That's in the spring. This year it's going to be April 17th through the 23rd, I think. And that's just, it's a week that the Greeks take out at every school. Every school has a Greek Week, and we compete. The 6 sororities and the fraternities will compete. We compete like in sports events, flag football, soccer, softball, and we have a talent show competition. And we also do a service project called Clean Up Nac on that day, and where all the sororities and fraternities will get a portion of Nacogdoches, we'll go pick up trash.
Yeah, I remember participating in that.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, you wake up early in the morning. It's fun.
Okay. What's your most favorite event
of Greek Week?
In Greek Week.
I enjoy the sports part of it, but it's all fun. The whole week is a lot of fun. The talent show is always fun because all the sororities put a lot of work into it, and so it's fun to go and see what they come out with.
Okay. Well, thanks for being with us today, and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. After the break, Harry Clarke will tell us what's going on in the entertainment world. Stay with us. Well, there's a lot going on in the entertainment world this week, and Harry Clarke will bring us this week's entertainment and entertainment breakdown.
World Breakdown. I'm Harry Clarke. Well, I'm sure it's no surprise to you that Michael Jackson is once again in the headlines. He has another court date to mark on his calendar. A federal judge in Los Angeles has set a March 29th trial date for Jackson's lawsuit against his former videographer. Jackson sued Steve Howell to try to stop him from selling home movies to European TV shows. Jackson claims Howell violated an agreement. An attorney for Howell says that the singer is blowing things way out of proportion because the movie shows things like Michael talking to his animals and catching a little blue jay. Meanwhile, Jermaine Jackson is threatening to sue a London newspaper for $200 million. Jermaine claims an article wrongly quotes him as doubting the innocence of his brother Michael, who's accused of sexually molesting a teenage boy. Rock band Pearl Jam canceled the last of 3 sold-out shows at the University of Colorado Sunday night, just a few hours before showtime. Evidently, it was because of a dispute over the concert's security. At issue was the school's concerns about security risks and moshing, in which crowd members slam into each other. Sounds like fun. The promoter says the concert will be rescheduled for March. He calls the dispute a creative difference. University officials have received complaints about moshers after a Cypress Hill concert last month. 4 people were arrested at the sold-out show Friday night, and the band complained about the campus police on Saturday. Pearl Jam's album Versus has topped the rock charts since its release in mid-October. Pearl Jam is also going to help MTV viewers ring in the new year. Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Cypress Hill, and The Breeders will be a part of a special called MTV's Live and Loud. It will air just before a broadcast of Janet Jackson's Counting Down to the Midnight Hour at New York's Madison Square Garden. Well, for all you Grateful Dead fans out there, get your pencils ready. They have a new CD that's live. It's available, but it's not available in stores. The first in a new series called Dick's Picks can be ordered by the phone by calling a special toll-free number. You got those pencils? The number is 1-800-323-2300. Dick's Picks Volume 1 is the live recording of their last concert of 1973 in Tampa, Florida. Well, Barney haters knew it all along. A right-wing radio evangelist warns that Barney comes from the world of demons and devils. Okay, Reverend Joseph Chambers doesn't like Barney's message that we should accept everyone as they are. Chambers takes that to mean that Barney supports homosexuality. I thought that the kids liked him just because he was a big purple dinosaur. I don't know. Well, for you Jerry Seinfeld fans, you may be upset to learn that he topped Spy Magazine's list of the 100 worst people, places, and things of 1993. Spy criticizes Seinfeld for, among other things, owning 25 pairs of sneakers. He beats out the Clintons, who land in second place. Others on the list include Michael Jackson, Fabio, and Madonna. I happen to like Madonna. Moving on to the world of film, Mrs. Doubtfire smothered the box office competition in its debut over the Thanksgiving holiday period. Industry sources say the film, starring Robin Williams as a nanny imposter, grossed more than $27 million. Mrs. Doubtfire dropped Addams Family Values into number 2. A Perfect World, the fugitive film pairing Clint Eastwood and Kevin Costner, opened in 3rd place, and The Three Musketeers dropped from 2nd to 4th. We would like to congratulate those celebrating a birthday this week. TV personality and producer Dick Clarke turns 64, actor Richard Crenna is 66, playwright David Mamet is 46, and singer Billy Idol turns 38. Well, that's about it for this week's Entertainment Breakdown. Thank you for joining me. I'm Harry Clarke. Back to you, Anthony.
Thanks, Harry. That's it for this week's and this semester's Highway 59. We'd like to thank everybody for watching. We'd like to thank all of our guests for appearing on the show. And most of all, I'd like to thank all the people involved with putting this show on the air. We will return next semester right here on SFA-TV 2. This week we're going to close the show out with My Head is on Fire by El Cage. And thanks again, and Merry